Hello and welcome to the 24th of December. It's Christmas Eve and it falls to me to wrap up the final window of the Advent calendar. Over the last few days, Nick and Sid have had their opportunity to talk about 2025 and to look forward to 2026. I've been doing the same. It's been a year of highs and lows for me. Publishing Chain of Command was a real milestone, and it's been fabulous to see people enjoying that and learning all the new things that they can do. I spoke earlier in one of the earlier Advent windows about how I like to let people enjoy a journey of discovery with a new rule set. I intentionally don't flag up everything that's in there so they can gradually come across the nuances that are tucked away in nooks and crannies. A friend of mine told me back in the summer that I was a bad person, as the game contains a lot of what he called booby traps that blow up in your face when you first encounter them. Well, mea culpa. I love games that keep you enthralled as you're constantly discovering more and constantly learning how to get the best from the game. I'm told, I read a couple of books on game design this year, I'm told by the experts that that's wrong and that I should be going for simple and ever simpler, indeed ever simpler, ever more simplistic games that are easy to learn and don't intrude on our brains at all. But I couldn't give a monkey's. I write the rules the way I write them, and I'm going to continue to do so. Personally, it's been an odd year in which I pretty much missed every games day I was meant to attend. I got COVID in February, and that saw me miss Hearts of Lard, and worse, that turned into a chest infection. And that, to the point that in June, 12 hours before the wife and I were due to get on a plane to Crete for some much needed R&R, having stuffed 8 million envelopes full of Chain of Command just a couple of weeks before, the doctor told me that they thought I had lung cancer, which was a bit of a shock. The holiday was cancelled and lots of tests and scans ensued. Well, the good news is that I've been told just in the last week that I'm now 100% clear, and that whatever it was that was wrong with me, the National Health Service reacted so slowly that I got better on my own. So healer, heal thyself. Anyway, as I look forward to 2026, my primary goal is to catch up on everything that I've missed out on. And that really is a lot of gaming with a lot of friends. I put my wall planner up this week, and games days and war game shows are now being added to it. If nothing else, it's been an important reminder, if a reminder was ever needed, of how key friends are and how missing out on gaming with them has left a really big hole in my life this year that I have not appreciated at all, and that's not happening again. It's that I was cursed. I was going down to visit some friends in Somerset and my car went wrong, and just nothing I could do allowed me to get to the events that I wanted to get to this year. So that is not happening, and I'm going to be focusing on the events that I want to attend because I'm going to have fun there, because I've got a lot of fun to catch up on. Anyway, this year's seen me spend a lot of time, a lot more than I ever thought, completing At the Sharp End and Big Chain of Command. The former was always a cornerstone of the Chain of Command canon, but the latter less so, because it was really just a few thrown together notes on can we make the game a bit bigger. However, Big Chain of Command has been a project that's rather sucked me in and has seen me develop that so it will sit right up there in the hierarchy of Chain of Command as a really important gaming aid, just as important as At the Sharp End, because I've had a lot of opportunity to look at how we can develop and change that. And that's been a journey of discovery that I've really enjoyed going down. And it's actually allowed me to focus my gaming on some areas that I've always been really interested in. So we've had a quick taster of that in Lard magazine. But Big Chain of Command, should be out in between Christmas and New Year. In fact, I've actually been working on the final proofreading notes that have come back to me in the last 24 hours, and it's just sat there waiting for me to cast a fresh pair of eyes over it in the next few days before we release. And that's a huge milestone for me. I always find publishing new rule sets quite a challenge, in as much as I always aspire to make them perfect, and I find it very hard to accept imperfection from myself. Producing something quite new, what we've done with Big Chain of Command, has been a bit of a challenge, but one that's been interesting and exciting, and it's been a bit of a journey that I've enjoyed travelling along. It's also been a bit of a journey for me because it's seen me spend a lot of time looking at actions between June 1944 and May 1945, and it's been a reminder of just how much of a wargamer's playground Normandy is. I could literally focus on Normandy for the rest of my days and never run out of battles to research and scenarios to game. That's been fun. And before I move on to the Pacific, I want to add a couple of Normandy pint-sized campaigns there, and also a couple for Burma as part of the range of products to go with the Far East Handbook. But for me, the Pacific Handbook is going to be the big challenge for 2026. Nick has nearly got Market Garden complete, but for me, my target tonight is the Pacific. So lots more gaming there over the coming year. And I have to say, since we first produced Chain of Command, however long ago it was, I've never got fed up with playing it. So I'm very much looking forward to that. That said, it's not all Chain of Command. I've been dipping my toes back into sharp practice with a campaign set in northern Spain with the Petit Gendarmerie against guerrillas and Spanish regulars and Spanish contra-guerrillas siding with the French. So that's coming up, and I'm really looking forward to doing a Dawns and Departures campaign with that. I'm hoping that 2026 will be a red letter year for the Lard community with everything that we've got lined up. We live in strange times, and for small businesses especially, things are difficult and we are under the cosh. However, I'd like to thank you all for your support in 2025, as without you we wouldn't be here. But we are, and we are looking forward to next year. So wherever you are, thank you for that. I hope that you've enjoyed our Advent windows throughout the month. It's something that's become a bit of a tradition. I must admit, there are times when I think it's a tradition I would rather that I didn't have to do, because it takes an incredible amount of time and herding of cats to get all this stuff in place. But I always enjoy listening to them, and I think that there's a lot that's been interesting this time as we've focused heavily on games design and rule mechanisms. Anyway, wherever you are, we hope you've enjoyed that. And don't forget that we have a full oddcast tomorrow on Christmas morning. So especially if you're spending Christmas on your own, you'll at least have 3 idiots to share the day with. But for now, may I wish you all the compliments of the season and a very Merry Christmas indeed.